Good evening, everybody. I want to welcome you to the HBCU Coaches Corner. My name is Rocky, and I'm here with the swag legend himself, Johnnie Cole. And we're accompanied by the Rattler himself, Steve Campbell. All right, man, we had an action-packed week, guys. Before we get started, before we wrap this week up, and we got a very special guest before we wrap this week up. But before we get started, I got to ask, how you doing, Coach?
Great, Coach. I'm doing well, man. Coach, we got to get it in, baby. It's football time, as I am in Arizona. You know, when I was in Texas, I said it's football time, period. So let's get this thing rolling. Got a very, very special guest, very close to me. I kind of was a very little instrumental in his coaching career. And, man, Coach, last time he was here, he was jobless, and within weeks, you know, I want to claim a little bit.
Joseph, how you doing, Coach?
I'm good, fellas. How y'all doing? JC, what's up, baby?
Hey, what's going on? Look, hey, Coach, he in a different color, ain't he? He last time we came with, he was in red, white. Then he was in his personal suit. Look at him. He sit up there in that black and gold, baby.
Yeah.
What's going on, Mick, Coach?
You know, first day. It was first day on the field today. We reported yesterday, first day today. And, you know, just trying to get out there and improve every day we get out there. You know, it was rough on them today.
Good. Coach, how you doing? I mean, man, you jumping from Nebraska. You out here in Arizona, seeing your kids. You're in New Orleans. Now you're in Baton Rouge. Man, tell how you doing, Coach?
Well, you know, I'm settled back in doing what we do, you know, and trying to get this thing back in order over here. And it's, you know, the landscape of college football is that transfer portal. So, you know, we came.
How is that helping you in your program?
Well, you know, just with my brother Sammy. You know, my brother Sammy, the younger one, is at ULM. So his house is right across the street from my house. And then, you know, Vance came up last, 2 weeks ago before they started camp for our legend golf tournament. Vance and Terry did. You know, Terry's at Texas, advancing with the Broncos. So it's good to be close to family. You know, when they need something, they know who to call. You know, and they know when they catch you doing football season because you're gonna say yes. But it's good to be back. It's good to be back with family.
You talking about them young brothers? Cause see, I'm one of them young brothers. When I get in trouble, I know how to call them older brothers. They got all the money.
Yeah, and that middle one has all the money in his family.
I forgot you the oldest. You are the oldest. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. But you got money though, Coach. You don't need little brother's money. Not that his money.
Oh, I'm gonna get after you. You know, no matter what. You know, no fear. I'm gonna get with you. So when you walk down that hill, you want some New Orleans boys in your crew. You know, and you know, if you look at our roster consists of Shreveport, Monroe, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans. You know, for the top cities in the state. You know, Lafayette plays good football too, and Lake Charles. But those your four big cities, and that's what our roster consists of. But you know, just when you talk about New Orleans, you're talking about, you know, well coached high school football. You know, very talented. You know, everybody's related. If you're not related, you say that's your cousin. But we play with a lot of confidence. And when we see the man across from us, we have no fear. We have no fear in our eyes that if I work like him, I'm gonna be to get after him. And that's what you like about New Orleans kids.
You know, some of those guys. And funny that you say that, Rock.
And really, the New Orleans area, to be perfectly honest, have such a rich tradition of playing players, not only playing in the pros, but you know, in HBCU football, there are so many players that have come through that have been stars and who have made an impact. And with Coach Robinson and Coach Joseph, I thought it was a very, a coincidental situation that they were back-to-back guests, and they were also both from the city of New Orleans.
Go ahead, Coach. You know, and we both played in the Catholic League. He played at Brother Martin, and I played at Archbishop Shaw. So, wow. You know, that's a strong league down in the city with all the Catholic high school. And I think right now, Edna Carr's in it right now. Edna Carr's probably one of the strongest teams in the state or the country that nobody really knows about. But you know, St. Augustine has a game this year against Carter Ritter out of St. Louis. It was going to be a really good game. But we always say this in Louisiana: pound for pound, we know we're the best football state in the country. Because
go ahead, Coach Campbell.
Well, Coach Joseph, listen, big fan of yours. Me and you around the same age. Now, see, I got to school these folks.
He's a rattler too.
I'm a rattler, but hold on, Coach. Hold on. I'm gonna back you up, Big Rambler. That's how I let these folks know. See, I used to play baseball in New Orleans League in Grady Park. Now, you West Bank. See, you gotta let them folks know you from that West Bank. Now, a little bit different. The boys from the West Bank, we're all a little bit different.
Yeah.
And your high school is a legendary high school, like you said. You're talking about Brother Mon, St. Aug, your school, and everything like that. But Coach, I wanted to talk with two things because I'm gonna get to a point. You played in Nebraska. First of all, how did they get you out of the SEC country with the type of talent you had? That's the first question I got. And then the second question, the position you played in Nebraska, which was one of the foremost positions in all of college football, the Nebraska I-back quarterback Nebraska was one of the schools that had black.
I write check with me. So he enhanced our thinking when it came down to football more than we did in high school.
Let me ask you this, Coach, because you came through. Me and you are similar to the same age. Actually, if you're from the West Bank, I didn't realize that. But my sweet mate at Tyler Junior College, who was a basketball player, was also from the West Bank. A guy named Robert Pack. I don't know if you know Robert Pack.
Pack went to Clark.
Yeah. So anyway,
Pack was in the league for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I wanted to ask you, Coach, coming out of school and at the time you did, being a black quarterback and playing in a major conference in the South, there wasn't a lot of opportunities. Was it important to you when you came out of high school to play quarterback, or you were just playing? Did you make a point to look for an opportunity to play quarterback?
Triple option. So Coach was a special package, Coach. And Coach, you're a Nebraska guy. I don't know if you guys know, my brother went to Nebraska.
Yeah, LC.
He was the first black African-American captain on the football program. So that's where I spent a lot of my springs in Omaha and there at the University of Nebraska. So I am a big red a little bit. But Coach, man, you jumped around, you settled. Let's start talking about your program. If you want to go position by position, we here to see what you got. Or let me ask you this next question: where do you feel you are at in your program? Can y'all challenge? Are y'all gonna be contenders? You think, or right now you just don't know?
Well, right, it's mile play in the O-line and D-line. And then I think it's special teams going to be strong, that you got to be really good in special teams to challenge in this conference. And we're working at all of that. But like you said, it's still early. We'll know more. But I'll be to tell you more in December.
Hey, Coach, coming from programs like LSU and Nebraska, who are really known for their interior strength, O-line and D-line, does that help you in not only development, but also being able to spot a player that could help you in that area?
Well, when it came to recruiting O-line and D-line, I was heavily involved here, with closing the deals with these kids and going to see these kids. So I made sure that we made good decisions when we were separating from kids. And I made sure we made great decisions when we was bringing kids in. So I was heavily involved in that. And as far as the skilled kids, they're going to come. But I was really looking and saying, okay, this kid, this O-line guy, he bends, which is when these kids ask you why, if you're a confident coach, you'll tell them why. Why are we doing something? But we got a good group of kids in the building. Like I said, they're from all over, but the majority, I want to say 75 to 80% of the roster's from Louisiana, because what we did when we went in the portal, we target kids that was from Louisiana and just brought them back home. So I thought the coaches did a really good job of that, because it's Louisiana's a different place now. It's a different place. We got different food. We talk a little different. I can talk. I got 3 accents. I got a Nebraska accent, a New Orleans accent, and then accents to get what I need. So
hey, Coach, as you mentioned your coaches, right? And you had to put together a coaching staff. Can you talk about some of the guys you brought in and what their roles will be with your team?
Well, besides Johnny, I think Eric Dewey's probably one of inducting people into the Grambling State Football Hall of Fame. And Shaq came up, Doug came up, Everson Walls, all the boys back in the days. And they had some Thursday. So I was with him the whole weekend. I was with him Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Just hanging out with him. Like I said, my brother Vance and Terry came up and played in the golf tournament. So you do have rich tradition here. You do have 4 Hall of Famers here, here at Grambling. But you have so many guys that played in the National Football League that I got to meet, with the legends, and it was like, man, this is good. This is awesome right here, just to meet these guys and these guys to say, hey, we happy that you're our coach, but at the end of the day, they all said one thing: we need to win. And so I know this is a pressure cooker. I know the style of play that Grambling they want to have. They want to look.
He played at Winston-Salem State under Pete Richardson.
Yeah, he played under Pete. But I love Groove though. I love Graves. He does a great job. He's gonna do a great job at Southern. Like I said, we just gonna root for him. Throughout the year until we play us. But everybody know that's a big game. That game changes addresses. So we understand the magnitude of that game, and it's down the line. So we, like you said, we got 12 stop signs that we're gonna stop at, and we'll stop at that one at the last stop sign and see where we're at.
Yeah.
Well, as you mentioned that it changes addresses, the Bayou Classic does. You have the last 2 Southern coaches on your staff, and so
that's right. You see that, huh?
Coach, what y'all gonna be
You
at
said
the
it. I didn't say it.
Y'all gonna be at the 50-yard line, Coach. It might be some elbows up in here, because that job. Last night we talked to with Eddie about how important the Magic City Classic game is. Mm-hmm. I know that Bayou Classic. We want to see Grambling in the Celebration Bowl.
I got you, baby.
Okay.
Hey, well, look, and Johnny, you know what? With me, he can take an ass chewing.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yeah, hey, I can get after him.
And Mick, I appreciate you taking us through.
I appreciate y'all. I gotta get him. I gotta get him on the field.
I got you, Coach.
All right, then, Coach. Thanks for everything, man. We appreciate it, and good luck to start out the season.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Johnny, I'm gonna holler at you.
Okay, my friend. Good luck this year, man. And I'll see you down the road. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right, Coach.
All right, Coach. Hey, this is gonna be nice, Coach. We're gonna get into bed for the news. Come on tonight, Coach.
Yeah. Unless we start getting some callers coming in with some predictions.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to ask him this, but I guess we'll figure out at some point. I was wondering, was he gonna run?
Do they have what they used to call Mr. Excitement? That was their running back during those championship years. Can they get that trifecta where you've got the quarterback, the running back, and the great offensive wide receiver to blow the top over? And my thing is with Grambling and just looking at their schedule, they are set to have a big season. The question mark to me is going to be on the defensive side.
Yeah,
I think the offense is going to be fine. I think the offense is going to move the ball, but Grambling has struggled the last couple of years with defense. And Coach, that is a really hard thing to do, to get those big guys up front when you're trying to build that program. And I know that's what Coach Joseph specializes in, and things like he said, hey, I got to get involved with those lines. And I know why he said that, because I'm pretty sure when he looked at that team, because if you looked at Grambling last year, they lost a lot of games, especially that Southern game, because Southern started running the ball and they couldn't stop them. Right. Couldn't stop in the third and fourth quarter. And Grambling lost a lot of close games because they got wore down on the defensive line. And Coach, this, the G-men, with the real G, hey man.
To me, when you hire the big time guy, you don't need to really give him all the money, because one, you're just giving him opportunity. Like Eddie George is making $400,000 a year, no experience. Well, to me, it should be the opposite. We give you an opportunity to coach. You know what I mean? So here's what we pay, and be able to pay your assistants. And I think that Coach Joseph had a little trouble being able to pay his assistants money that's wasn't nowhere clear to what Coach Jackson had. So I think, and then when you do that, you pay for what you get, Rocky. You know what I mean? You pay for what you get. And, we talk about these staffs, But if they ain't comfortable, coach, you know, every open time they get, they're in the office on the phone calling around for jobs. And it's players everywhere, you know, and if opportunities are there, it's players everywhere. It's got to be patient, especially when you're on the FCS level. You know what I'm saying? You got players dropping from Division I all the time. You got kids at Division II schools want to come to Division I, and you right there in the middle, you know. And I hear that a lot about coaches about oh, well, I don't have enough scholarships. I don't have enough funding. I don't have enough, you know, we can't recruit. Man, you can pick that phone up. You know, you ain't got time to cry and all that. And especially now, because people want you to win right now. You got to go out there and turn over some rocks, and you'll find you something every now and then, and you got to be able to put it together. That's why, Rocky, I always talk about program over talent. I've always told you that, program over talent. And so
as HBCU football program, they have the strongest football alumni out of all the schools. Their players support that program year in and year out. That's the first thing that's going to help Coach Joseph. So
re-emphasize that. Former football players support that.
Support that. So what's going to happen is they're going to watch him, and I will say that, and like I say, Doug Williams took that thing from Shaq Harris, and now he's carrying on the banner, and Kincaid is now back there. You're going to see those guys. They're going to say, Coach, what do you need? And I'm telling you, I have seen it firsthand. They will come up with $100,000 out of nowhere to make sure that those guys are ready to go. I'll tell you another thing, too, about Grambling. When you get down to Grambling, I think a lot of people don't understand how small Grambling is. It is literally 2 streets down the whole campus. Yeah. But when you come to Grambling, you want to be at Grambling. And that G means something. And because that whole community is behind you and you put that G on, I'm telling you, if Coach gets that thing rolling.
That's the best thing that he has going for him.
All right, you're going to get a phone call.
I'm just being perfectly honest. Like, if he takes the team that he has, in my opinion, and you put that over in the East, you know, I don't think it fares very well. But with him being on the West side, I think that gives him a chance to vie for at least a West Division championship, to be honest with you. Just if he's competent as a coach, in my opinion.
Yeah. Ain't no doubt that he has his work cut out for him, because the tradition is strong. It ain't no excuses, you know, at Grambling. You got to win. And, you know, here's what I don't know. I don't know how strong his coaching staff is. And like you said, Rocky, it's new, you know, So,
Coach, I wanted to bring that up for you. Running backs coach, and I don't see a D-line coach.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, but Rocky, let me tell you something. And I got to say this is an HBCU joke, but don't let that website might not get updated to the 5th game of the season.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. Because
Okay.
that's up to that. And let me tell you what happens with an HBCU. The SIAD might not even know who has the password to update update the website sometimes. And they got to find the guy to go update it. So I will kind of give them a little bit of grace on that, to be honest with you, because I have seen that. So I think I was pulling something up, and I thought that I saw a different list of additional coaches that were added. Plus, he named guys that are not on this list, too, that he was talking about that he has coached. That he was talking about when Coach Cole asked him about it.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. All right, guys, we got a caller. Caller, you're live on the air with HBCU Coaches Corner. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Chuck Hunt calling from Monroe, Louisiana. It's a junior, and he was our neighbor one time here in Monroe.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Well, let me say this: if he assembles that staff and gets similar results, he'll go down as a legend, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Hey, you know, anything can happen. You know, he said he put staff, and you see Coach Cole. I think back when you assistant at Southern, when Pete Richardson first came. I came out of high school in 1993, and I remember when I was at the '93 Bayou Classic, and you know, people didn't know who Coach Richardson was. I remember him when he coached at Winston-Salem State. You see the games on BET. But look at what happened. Magic came out. You know, they put all that to rest about Coach Richardson and gave Southern all those winning seasons. They hadn't seen those type seasons since A.W. Mumford. And Yeah, it's about like I said, it's about the what's that saying? That's the exercise about the Jimmies and the Joes.
Yeah. Well, right there. That was that season. That was the season there. Yeah.
The Southern.
Yeah. We had some.
No, he played at Alcorn.
Oh, you talking about Hope?
Okay.
Yeah. Hope.
Hope played at Alcorn. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Toast.
Yeah, when they covered Jerry Rice. Yeah, that's why it took that was able to hold Rice in the '84 game. Yeah.
Yeah, I played against Hope. I could play against Hope. Okay.
Yeah, that's your era. Oh yes, I remember that era. Oh yes.
We put 30 on them, Coach.
I want to talk about the point about him, Coach Joseph, bringing people back to Grambling. Well, that goes back to my point. These are people that are familiar with the area, that understand the challenges, that are not going to say, oh, we don't have this, we don't have that. Because, see, that means a lot, too. And, Coach, you know this. Sometimes it is about making sure that you have continuity and no complainers. Because sometimes Coach, you know this best. Like you said, you got to ride them buses, you got to sleep in them offices. And if people want to stay in a 5-star hotel, this ain't for you.
Please do so. That's how you're going to keep up with what's going on with the HBCU Coaches Corner. It's hosted on my YouTube channel. So if you want to know what's going on, the next guest we'll have, please go ahead and select subscribe and make sure you put in a comment if you would like on this channel. If you like this kind of content, right, let us know you like this kind of content. If there's a coach out there that you want us to bring on the show, put it in there, because that's one of the things that compels these coaches to come on, letting them know that there's a market and that they need to come out and speak to their fans. If you want the Southern coach, if you want the Alcorn coach, if you want the Prairie View coach, you want those guys to come on, please just put it in the comments when you're gonna have it, and so we can forward that information and encourage these coaches to come on, because not every coach wants to be. All right, so we got one victory.
Texas A&M Commerce. They run the ball exceptionally well. Their offensive line coach down there, Coach Manny, they've been really, really running the ball successful. But I got Grambling in a close one. And I don't even see why they even going down that way. But, hey, it is what it is. I got Grambling by 7. Here we come, Jackson State. Man, great game, great time to play them. I'm going into my 3rd game. Hopefully I don't have no injuries. You got a new offensive coordinator at Jackson State. Coach T he decided to start calling his own plays. As well as he's off to a start. It's going to be a close one. They playing at Grambling. I'm going to take Jackson State just because the coach has been in place and he was a part of the Deion Sanders all the time. So I'm going to go with Alcorn in a close one.
All right. They've invited UAPB down to the hole for homecoming. Crowley goes wild.
4 touchdowns. Great game. They open it up. They start feeling real good for themselves. Coach Joseph got a hold to them now. They got some victories up on them. I'm going to take Grambling in a big one.
All right, Coach. Look like by my count, they're 3-4, and they're headed to H time.
Ain't no problem. Grambling by 2 touchdowns at least.
All right. They 500 going into the last 3 games of the season.
Woo.
And they have to travel to Bethune-Cookman.
A storm is blowing in. Bethune-Cookman's 2nd year. Goes along.
My name is Dennis Jeter, and I won $500 on the lunch money for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV. BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.